What's up? How are you guys doing? What's up, Sarah? I saw you first in chat. Man, it's been a while. And by that I mean it's been a while since I've been live, but also you've been around for a while. That's fantastic. Love the shirt, thank you. I bought this to do like a TikTok, like a guitar TikTok, and then I just never had the time to do it. But here's the deal. Can I let you guys in on a secret? So we officially have, the reason I haven't been live is because I've been super busy with some things. One of those things is we officially have a new videographer on the channel that I'm really, really excited about. I haven't talked about it online or anything. And seriously lifting the load from me a lot. And so I have more time to start, like, starting hopefully this month, I'll be able to finally put the focus that I want on TikToks and shorts that I've been like telling everybody, hey, you need to be doing this. And I haven't had the time to do it. I just landed from a few days in Tokyo. How was it? Also, yeah, so Rob, hey, real quick, how's the music volume? I think I fixed my audio issues, both at this setup and the gaming setup. The setup problem here being that my voice would get delayed after like 15, 20 minutes. Remember, I'd have to like reset stuff a couple times per stream. Fixed that, and fixed the problem with the music being out of sync in the other room. But yeah, Rob, oh yeah, so anyways, but I haven't tested the music volume yet, so yeah, if you want to let me know how the music volume is, that'd be great. Yeah, Rob Valles? Let me know if I'm saying that right. Rob. Chris Broad. Chris and I actually have plans to meet up. I hit him up when I told him I was, and we follow each other. I don't remember how we followed each other. I've been following him for a while. I think it was because of a crossover with Dogan. So yeah, I plan on checking out his place. His little ramen shop underneath his house that's just bonkers. I want to go check that out. VV, thank you for the 22 months. Both of you true senpais, thank you. Jen Abbott, thank you for the 12 months, true senpais. And Oren Cohen, 11 months on the moon. Thank you. Man, we've almost been on the moon for a year. How you doing? What's up, Exceldra? How you doing, brother? Chat, how we feeling about the, it's been almost a month now, about the vertical plugin. There have been so many updates. It should be pretty much entirely reliable at this point. The main problem, I believe, has been fixed. I haven't gotten any tweets about it since we released the update. Which was, the problem was that you would go live and it would be the 0 kilobits per second, or 0 megabits per second, whatever. Where it wouldn't be sending a signal, and we fixed that. So that was the main, I mean, there were a couple minor issues and little tweaks here and there, but like that was the main one, and it should be fixed now. I haven't seen any problems with it since we released that update. I used to get like 3 tweets a day about it. Can't stay tonight? I had to wait to see after so long. Yeah, so with that new editor, or new videographer / editor, we should be getting, oh, this camera actually is picking up a little bit of a dark signal. I've been adjusting my image on here, the camera image. I do think I lowered the saturation a little bit too much. It's actually not the saturation, it's the brightness, which lifted the blacks a little bit. I was trying to find a good balance, but then I ran out of time, had to go live. But I like the lifted darks. I like the slightly low contrast look. I think it's cool. This room in general, by the way, is just a little dull. We're doing some pretty big changes to it. Miss Cass, thank you for the 22 months. My daughter has that shirt. She'll be happy to have someone else in the fandom. Who isn't in the fandom though? Stranger Things fandom? I don't know anybody who's not in the Stranger Things fandom. Music is good? Okay, cool. What's the next big thing for YouTube live streaming? I mean, I don't know any secrets. They don't tell me anything special. I hope I need to organize my thoughts on this first. Honestly, I've been like completely actively ignoring like I think I talked about this in a video, like completely actively ignoring the whole Twitch, YouTube, streamer platform fight. It's exhausting. I've been ignoring a lot of stuff on social media lately. I'm exhausted. Social media is exhausting. So I've got these bags under my eyes. Thoughts on kick streaming? Stay away. Don't ever put your career in the hands of a gambling company. It's just a matter of time. They're just biding their time. It's gonna fall apart. Now all the bugs are fixed for N Vertical. We can focus on the new features next. Dude, I'm just pumped about video. What's it called? My brain just died. Virtual camera. That's gonna be a big one when we're able to release virtual camera with it. I do think it's ironic that we release it and then less than a month later, Twitch puts out their own. And then also within the month, this isn't as much of a shocker, but Streamlabs announces that they're working on their own version. I was literally about to tweet out, hey, how long until Streamlabs copies and pastes this? And then they announced it themselves in a YouTube comment. I've got it screenshotted. Why does anyone still use Streamlabs? It's such a sleazy platform. Hold on. Let me get the chat open on this screen over here. There we go. Front and center. Copy and paste everyone else's products, and then they put it behind a paywall. It's so sleazy. I mean, it is what it is. It's how business works. And that's part of competition. But it's just a company notorious for doing that. How are you and the family doing? We're doing well. Lennon's getting big. She's walking around. She doesn't look like a baby walking anymore. She like walks like a person now. That's a big deal. Does A&M have chat integration for YouTube? I've got a call with them on Wednesday. I'm a little bit behind on their chat integration stuff right now. Could you share your background for a green screen? I think we've already shared like three of the rooms in this place for green screen stuff. You want this room as a green screen? I might have to do that at some point. We're gonna tear down this wall. Can I show you guys a secret? New album? No, this is the Hype Tracks playlist. I don't know if you can see that. Can you? I may have started the construction process by throwing a sledgehammer through the wall. Jeez. I was actually gonna tear down this wall on Friday, and then I ran out of time. The buddy that I was gonna do it with had to cancel. But we're officially tearing down this wall and just making one giant room. How do you hire editors? I did it on LinkedIn this time. I don't like, I didn't want to do it on Twitter. Just to get this conversation out of the way. I didn't want to do it on Twitter just because I didn't want Scott to get a bajillion tweets, or even myself to get a bajillion tweets about Scott, like, hey, what's going on with Scott? Like what happened with Sam. Like with Sam and I mutually like chose like, hey, there's been a long evolution. We're both trying to do different things. Maybe we both, you know, I think it's time. We both go our separate ways. And Scott has been fantastic for the last 2 years. But Scott's also a brand new, I mean, we hired Scott when he was like a month into learning how to edit. He's a brand new editor. And for some of the stuff that we're doing coming up here, I just needed someone with a little bit more experience, some After Effects, VFX, animation, and a little bit more experience behind the camera. And so that's why we ended up hiring someone new. But I didn't want to like go on Twitter and be like, hey, looking for a brand new editor, and just put, because without context, it kind of puts Scott on blast, and it people love to find drama where there isn't drama. We brought Scott on, and Scott was never meant to be like the main editor. He was meant to be like the under editor underneath Sam, who like does all the cutting and trimming and like basically sends like a rough edit to Sam. To then Sam with his 10 years of experience would end up polishing and adding animations and all this stuff to it, turning it into a professional video. And then Sam and I parted ways, and so Scott was kind of thrust into this big position before he was ready, and he crushed it. He was great. He did everything he could have done in his power, and I'm really proud of him. But we needed some things. We needed some skills that take a decade to develop. And so that's why I don't do it on like social media or on Twitter or anything. I didn't want to make something sound. I didn't want the internet to create drama where there wasn't any. What's the vlog plan for Japan? The vlog plan for Japan. We're working on some of that stuff right now. I'm working on trying to get the new editor out there with me. We're trying to get a sponsor for the trip. We've got a couple conversations coming up about with potential sponsors to see if we can get my editor and potentially his wife's stuff covered. I'm going out there for 30 days. I want to get him out there for maybe like a week and a half-ish. And yeah, get some really cool, really new style videos, especially for the Harris Heller channel. I think we're probably gonna do a couple out there on the Senpai Gaming channel that are more like gear related, camera related stuff. And maybe some collaborative stuff out there with some creators that are out in Japan, but I really want to get some more like artsy, creatively driven stuff for the Harris Heller channel out there. We've got the first video ready for this channel. I just need to make a thumbnail. I'll probably do that today and post it tomorrow morning. Short still king for small channels to get recommended? Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what that can do for channels. By the way, Tatted Tech, thank you for the super chat. Happy Pokemon Day. What's Pokemon Day? How do I not know about it? What is Pokemon Day? Any IRL streams? I really want to try streaming IRL with the Insta360. That was something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's not fun to do that in Provo, Utah. But yeah, definitely gonna do some IRL streams. Got to figure out the internet and the process. If I want to just like do it straight from my phone, or if I want to do it with like a fancy camera, you know, whatever. There's I know Sony with their Xperia camera, or their Xperia phone, you can just plug a Sony camera directly into the phone and just stream it that way. And I want to kind of try that. That seems like the simplest way to do it. Today's the first day games out in Japan. And they announced a lot of stuff. Pokemon announced a lot of stuff today? Hold on. That's probably why Twitch tweeted out that Snorlax thing, huh? Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. Some stuff coming there. Happy Pokemon Day. The original games came out 20... years ago. Oh. They had a live stream. Search Pokemon Presents. I will. 27 years. How is that possible? Now I'm looking through Pokemon's Twitter. Dude, I haven't played like, other than Pokemon Let's Go, I haven't played like a Pokemon game since Emerald? I played Emerald. I know I played Sapphire. Did I play Emerald? I think I played Emerald. Yes, we're old hairs trying not to dwell on it. Dude, I played so much Pokemon Red. I put so many hours into Pokemon Red. It's absurd. All right, I'm gonna have to watch this whole. How long is the live stream? Tune into Pokemon Presents. All right, hold on. $25 minutes? Okay, I'm watching this after the stream. But anyway, just to wrap up the conversation. So we ended up, so we've got a new, you'll see the difference. I'll put up a video on this channel tomorrow. It's the tour of this space and that space. The actual like my studio tour I've been promising for like a year now. And it includes me throwing a sledgehammer through the wall. Because I'm gonna knock down this wall in the next like week or so. And just make this one giant room. Do you have any idea how pumped I am about that? It's gonna be a nightmare to sound treat because it's gonna be a big room. I gotta decide if I want it all to be carpet or for it all to be wood. I think I'm gonna make it all like vinyl, like wood. And I'll just have to sound treat the ceiling really well. I'm gonna hang like 2 massive clouds up there. Where in Japan are you visiting? We're in like the greater Tokyo area. So we're in a city called Otaku. It's right next to the Haneda airport. So we're staying there for 30 days. We're gonna take like one trip down to Okinawa. That's kind of been like a long-term dream of ours for the last little bit. Like to potentially live there during the winter because it just snowed again last night. And let's be honest, the cold sucks. The cold is the absolute worst. So we don't want to live in the cold anymore. So like if we could find a place in Okinawa to live in for like 5 months out of the year, like January to May, it's like after Christmas, just like we're out of here. See ya, United States. What song is this? This is I need to get the now playing widget set up on this stream. This is 100 Thieves hype tracks though. Cold is the best, cold is the worst. Any traditional Japanese style music coming to streaming. So we have that one album in the lo-fi. There's a lo-fi album that's like all Japanese inspired. It's like 30 tracks. But one of the things I want to do is for the videos on this channel. So I'm gonna make 3 or 4 videos on this channel while I'm out there, maybe even more. And like definitely like 3 or 4 like intentional, like big planned videos. And one of the things I want to do is I want to have original music for it, like have Ryan make original music. And I want to start some playlists on Stream Beats. That's like Harris's YouTube playlist, and have it be the music that we make for my videos. And so like this album would be all based around the Tokyo trip, and have it all be, you know, like modern music, but like with some heavy Japanese influence to it. And then in a little bit, Kenzie's gonna come down. We're actually planning a trip to Hawaii also. Her sister's getting married in Hawaii. And we want, like, if we're flying to Hawaii and staying there for a week anyway, we're like, let's just extend it. Let's make it a staycation in Hawaii and go there for 30 days. We're doing 30 days in Japan, and then in the fall, we're doing 30 days in Hawaii. Or like late summer, early fall. And just taking some long trips. And if I can be real with you guys, like, I just need to change. My content needs to change. I need to change. And so we're trying some like long trips and just trying to enjoy them, but also stepping outside my comfort zone for content making, doing something new. the stuff that I've been doing is just getting stale, not only for me but also for you. And I need to shake things up and try something new. Definitely need to dive into the Hair Seller channel now that I got a new editor and videographer. We're gonna jump into it. Traveling's not fun. Oh, being somewhere new is amazing. Traveling not fun. Dude, we're gonna have on this trip to Japan, it's a 12-ish hour flight, or at least 12 hours of flying. We're gonna be with a 16-month-old. Oh, wish me luck. Sorry, just tuned in. Why are you knocking down the wall? So watch the tour of these two rooms that goes up tomorrow on this channel. And I talk about it, but originally, like, this room, so that room was supposed to be my room. This room was gonna be a B-roll product shot room. And then it turned into like an editing room for the editor to work in. And then for the most part, Scott worked from home. Like, I set this whole room up to be an editing room, and then Scott worked from home, which is fine. We got it all done. We got everything done. But so it sat here unused. And so, like, if it's not being used, I'm gonna use it. I might as well turn it into like another set, another place to film, a place that's more geared around editing and rather than like gaming and stuff, rather than trying to take my gaming setup and also make it an editing setup. Like, I might as well make like a dedicated editing room that's just a little bit of a different vibe, you know? And it's not as dungeony. And so then I ended up having two different rooms, two different offices. Like, what's the point of that? This wall is not a, it's not a load-bearing wall either. Like, they added it in later. And so there's two kind of small rooms, and they're both good rooms. They're both fine. I like these rooms. But if I'm using both of them for my stuff, and they're kind of too small to do like multiple camera, like this is really the only camera angle I can get, because it's just barely, like, I'm almost touching the wall on each side. so like, I can't get a lot of camera angles in here, so I figured it might be cool to just break down this wall and make one really cool room, like a large room. I'm really excited about it. Do you have any tips for video editor looking for work? I've seen 2 or 3 people in the last week, like gamers, say like, hey, I'm looking for more consistent videos. Like, almost every single medium to large size streamer is looking for an editor who can take their VODs and cut them up into fun highlights to watch, like consistent content, shorts, videos, all the things. I would highly recommend keeping an eye on Twitter for those things, searching for the word editor. Like, they're always looking for them. I've literally, last Monday, I spoke to a big streamer who's like, I'm just not happy with the editing company that's been doing my stuff. They only make 2 to 3 videos a month. I'm looking for 2 to 3 videos a week. Yesterday, I saw another streamer tweet out, I'm looking for someone to make 2 to 3 videos a week. And those aren't high paying jobs because you're just cutting up VODs, but it's easy work. Like, find a system, whether it's working with that streamer's mods, and have them, and like set up in their Discord, like set up a timestamp thing. So like, whenever the mod's like, oh, that was a really good game, they got a win, mark the timestamp, and maybe find three wins or 3 high kill games that you can then go through and just cut up and throw up. It's pretty easy. And then just literally take a VOD and just chop it up, maybe do 1 or 2 little meme moments, couple punch-ins here and there that take 5 seconds to do, and you've got a video. You should be able to cut up a video in, 30 minutes and probably charge $50 for it. It's $100 an hour. I was editing for someone for $40 an hour. You quit streaming, so I'm looking for new clients. Yeah, Twitter. Twitter's a great place to do it. Twitter is generally where most content creators look for editors. Blake Powelson, welcome to the Thrifty Boys. Thank you, man. I'm deciding between the Insta360 Link and the Elgato Facecam Pro. Is it true that the Insta gets very hot? Had issues with 1080-60. I haven't seen, that's the first time I've heard of that, but I also haven't done any research on that. I didn't have any problems with it when I was using it, but I didn't use it for an extended period of time. I think the biggest difference is, do you want like the biggest difference between the two is, are you looking for the moving, like the motors, like the Insta360 Link has? Is that important to you, the ability for the camera to change angles? Or do you want a super wide angle shot? They both have great software with a lot of great control. But also, do you care about 4K 60? So that would be the advantage of the Insta360 Link is obvious. They're both super high quality. I would say the Facecam Pro is a little bit higher quality because a lot of the money for the Insta360 Link obviously goes towards the motors and that whole thing, whereas the entire budget of the Facecam Pro is to the image quality. They're still both very good. The Insta360 Link, the perk you're getting out of that is the gimbal, the movement stuff, the automation. The perk that you're getting out of the Facecam Pro is wider field of view, so you get like more of a wide angle. The Insta360 Link's pretty narrow, so you get a wider field of view and you get 4K 60 and a slightly better image quality. I need to check out the Kio Pro Ultra. I haven't heard much about it. I've heard like 1 or 2 people mention it, and then Razer doesn't send me anything anymore. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I've been very blunt about their stuff. I haven't been happy with anything they've released lately. The last thing they sent me was their key lights, which are direct knockoffs of the Elgato, and then the, what's it called? And then their little mixing station, I don't remember what it's called, which is a direct knockoff of the Go XLR Mini, but with awful software. And I basically call that like, these are both just not very good. The cool thing about the Key Light Pro is that it's RGB, but the problem is it kept disconnecting. I couldn't get it to, I say this every time, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. The biggest problem with Razer stuff, biggest problem, is how awful Synapse is. Like, how have you not fixed that yet? How have you not fixed it? It's so bad. It ruins everything. Their key lights, although they are kind of a knockoff, they're like RGB Elgato key lights, would be really cool if they were reliable, if their software was reliable. Messaging about 2 streamers today asking if they're looking for video editors. Rather than just like cold messaging people, I would search for keywords and respond to people who are actively looking. One of my most successful students now creates short form content for creators at scale. He's a real pro. Look for Rising Influence. I'll check him out. When you're in Japan, will you be stopping by Okinawa? I mentioned that earlier. We're gonna spend a couple days down in Okinawa to see how we like it, see how family friendly it is, see if it's a place that we can imagine living for like 4 or 5 months out of the year. So that's kind of the goal there. It's like, is this a place we want to live for a little bit? They really need to start the Synapse software from zero. And longer they admit it, harder it will be to compete with they need to just completely trash it and start over. It's weird because aesthetically, like, it is a very polished looking software. But functionally, it's so unreliable and counterintuitive. The UI for everything they do is always awful and doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't work half the time. I stopped using Razer mice because I got 3 mice in a row that would just like, after, I would be playing games and I think once or twice an hour, the sensor would just stop working. Like, I could still click and shoot and ADS and stuff, but I couldn't aim. And it would always happen right at a key moment. It'll happen for like 5 seconds. The sensor will just cut out. And it happened, I did 3 mice straight, multiple PCs, and, like, tried so many different things. It's just a mouse. I don't know if it's a mouse or their software, but I can't trust Razer mice anymore. And that's when I moved to Logitech. Never had a problem since. Sweet. I wonder what it would be like. I wonder how possible it would be to start like a software development company that just makes software for these companies. Because obviously they're all terrible. It's so weird. Like Synapse is a joke. G-Hub is garbage. Like they put all this money into hardware and then they just sit on their software and it's so bad. A universal software would be awesome. That would be hard to convince people to do. And I understand why it would be hard to do. Like if I were to make hardware, I would want my software experience to be unique and better than everyone else. And I'd want to be able to monetize it and collect data, you know? SteelSeries software. So the last time I haven't used SteelSeries in a while. Last time I used SteelSeries software, I remember liking it. There were a couple features I liked. It seemed like it was the most reliable, but it felt like visually the most dated. It's been like, I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've used a SteelSeries mouse. I can't use a Razer keyboard because because if you have Synapse installed, the hardware pause button becomes a software button and presses G in CSGO, which throws my gun. Oh my gosh. It's ugly, I'll give you that, but it's never given me an issue in 13 years. The rest can learn from them. But it's crazy that that's the bar. It's crazy that the bar for good software is it hasn't given me problems. Like, software should be enhancing the experience. The fact that like it's either hurting the experience or it's just nothing, and your best case scenario is it's doing nothing, is such a weird thing. Like, nobody's learned from Elgato yet. Like, Elgato's big thing is the software experience. That like they learned from like Uber and like all these modern like DoorDash and Homey and whatever. All these modern companies are like, what if we made an app for this current thing? Like, what if we added software to blank and now it's awesome? Like that's what Elgato does, is they add software to stuff and that makes it great. Blake Powellson, by the way, welcome to I called that one out. Just kidding. You only get one welcome. How dare you? Trying to get a second welcome? Shame. In a couple minutes, by the way, Kenzie's gonna come down. So I was kind of laughing. I titled this stream and I said we booked a 30-day trip to Japan. And now Kenzie's gonna come down and Kenzie's we're gonna book a 30-day trip to Hawaii. Guys, I've been struggling for the last, 2022 is a rough year. I need 2023 to be good. I need 2023 to be stepping outside my comfort zone. And we're making some big steps forward with that. This new videographer and editor, I'm excited for you guys to see some of his stuff. We're stepping forward in that game, and he also is gonna be taking over a lot of the stuff with the YouTube channels, freeing up a ton of my time to focus on my content, short form content, creative content. I wanna learn Blender. That's a big one. I wanna learn Blender. We're starting a second side project also. You may have seen some of the shorts. The guy that I'm heading that up with just got back from a vacation yesterday. It's called 30-Second Tech. We're jumping hard into that. We're building out Senpai.tv because the guy I'm doing 30-Second Tech with is a web developer. And we're gonna be releasing a handful of products. I'm just really pumped about it. We got a lot going on. A lot of changes happening that I'm really excited about. And I should have time to actually get started on Blender. How do you get your video ideas? Usually from watching other people's YouTube videos or from doing stuff outside of YouTube. Rarely do they come from me sitting down and being like, what can I make a YouTube video on? One of the next videos we're posting should be this week on the Senpai Gaming channel is the best, a step-by-step of how to get the best camera settings for a live stream camera, like a camera like this. And It is like I came up with that idea because I was collaborating with Nicewig, and I went to his place. I checked out his stream setup. He's like, "Hey, tell me what you think. I'm not getting the look that I want out of my camera. It's a nice camera." And I checked it out, and I was like, "Oh, your settings are all wrong. Like you're leaving a lot of quality on the table." He wasn't even in video mode. He was in panorama mode. So the first thing I did is I set his camera to video mode. But anyway, so I was like, I don't think I've done a video on how to get the best settings for your camera. Let me do that video. A lot of people just set it all to auto. And I understand why you do that. It's the easiest way to do it, but there are optimization settings that you can do to get like a blurrier background, better lighting, all that stuff. Going to Japan for the first time ever this summer and super pumped. One thing on my bucket list is hitting up the Sapporo beer factory. As someone who's really never drank in their life, I want to get I want to find, even though I'm not ever planning on being a drinker at all, not even like a casual. I like the fact that I don't drink. It's great for my body, and it's a good thing. I think it's a good habit to have, but like I'd still like to acquire a taste for like good sake. I think I'm gonna try that out while I'm there. Like really like find like my favorite sake and be like, this is my favorite one. I only drink it when I'm in Japan. Be that guy, be that super annoying guy. I don't drink in America because they don't have this kind of sake. They only have it in Japan. But I'm gonna be that guy. I support my own decision for doing that. Any thoughts on YouTube's new podcast feature? I gotta check that out. Yeah, I told you guys, I'm so behind on this stuff. I know that's been like my thing for the last 4 years. It's like web, the streaming platform features, YouTube features, Twitch features. I just realized recently in my own like self-analysis, like new features isn't what's holding my content back. Like I'm holding my content back. So I don't really care if they release new features. I need to go and step out of my comfort zone and make some new stuff and try some new stuff and relearn what's the word I'm looking for? But is self-control, and not self-control, but there's a D word. Dedication, determination, self-discipline. That was the word, self-discipline. And dive into some serious videos again. I think I'm gonna do like a learning Blender in 30 days kind of thing. Learning Blender in 100 hours. Try Japanese whiskey? I really want to acquire a taste for matcha too. I want to become like a matcha connoisseur. While we're there for 30 days, I plan on finding like a local izakaya that's like my spot, and I get to know the owner or the employees there or whatever, and like find it's like a Japanese pub, and like find my corner, and I spend a couple days a week there editing and working, and like really like fine tune my taste for matcha. If I have an A7 III, is it worth upgrading to an A7S III? I've never used an A7 III. I guess I've used the A7C. It just depends on what you're looking for. I believe the A7C is like the exact same thing as the A7 III, so I can tell you a couple things there. I know it depends on how bad you want to do. So I know the what's it called? They have S-Log 3, so color profiles aren't a big deal unless you really want to use Cinetone. 4K video is kind of a big deal there. It depends on how bad you want to do 4K, like 4K 30 is even cropped in. If you want to do 4K 60, you can't do that on the A7 III. So like if you're really looking for 4K filming, and I don't think the A7 III has a flip out screen, does it? I don't remember. Honestly, if I'm gonna be real, I don't think there's much on there. It's gonna be $3,500, and I don't think it's gonna make a massive impact on your content. It doesn't have a flip out screen, that's kind of a big deal. But if I can be real with you, I'm holding out hope. I hate perpetuating this whole thing. Chat, don't listen to me. Ignore me when I talk about this. By the way, JGH, thank you for the 9 months. Welcome back, man. Flips upward, okay. I was gonna say, because the A7C flips out, has a flip out screen. I am, never be the guy that's like, I'm waiting for the next one, because there's always gonna be a next one. But there are some things that I'm really hoping that they add that are gonna be huge for content creators. One is I'm hoping they add at least maybe just in the next FX3, or maybe, I don't know, hopefully in the next A7S3. But I want them to add a built-in ND filter. That's really for high-end stuff. That's not a big deal. But the big thing that I hope they add is open gate. I hope they add open gate. And open gate and 6K are two big ones. I want my camera to shoot 6K. That way when I downscale it to 4K, it's sharper, but also then I have some flexibility to punch in and fix the shot if it's not perfect. And then open gate means it shoots the full, I forget, 4x3, 3x2, 3x2 aspect ratio, the taller screen that you get when you're taking pictures using the whole sensor, because then it makes it easier to do vertical content. That'd be huge. Nax, thank you for the 22 months. Kyashi, thank you for the year. Welcome back. The YouTube podcast features only in the US for now. Guys, what if we went to Japan for 30 days and just never came home? And I just became a Japan content creator. Would you support that? I think I might try to convince my wife, like, look how great this is. Let's just stay here. Top 5 anime? Now, the first one I recommend people who are trying to get into anime is always Attack on Titan. I think that is a great first anime. It shatters the notion that anime is for kids, right? That cartoons are for kids, like, because it is Attack on Titan is not for kids. It hits hard in the first episode. There are tons of anime that I've loved, but they take 3 or 4 episodes to get into, and it's really hard to convince someone who's already hesitant about anime to watch 3 or 4 episodes before they start to really enjoy it. Like Love is War, for example. I love Love is War. It's definitely in my top 5. I wouldn't start someone off with Love is War. Because you don't really, it doesn't really open up. It feels very short video. You don't really build a relationship with these people, which is what it's all about for 3 or 4 episodes. The 20 questions episode is where I feel I think it's the 3rd episode. The 20 questions episode is where you start to see their weaknesses come out. Attack on Titan's a big one. Demon Slayer I absolutely love. Would it be in my top 5? It might be in my top 5. I just feel like it's really basic to put Demon Slayer in your top 5, but it is fantastic. So Attack on Titan, Love is War. I really like slice of life stuff. So I really liked My Dress Up Darling. Loved that show. So good. There's always a million that I'm forgetting. I don't know if this would be in my top 5, but Assassination Classroom was phenomenal. The end of season 1, I almost cried. I need a list of anime I've watched. I can't just come up with them out of nowhere. I just marathoned all of Dragon Ball Z, which I'd never done. I hadn't watched Dragon Ball Z since middle school when it was on Cartoon Network, and that's not in my top 5. It's my childhood. It's pretty mid. Gosh, I need to see what other ones have I just been obsessed with from start to finish. Maybe I'd put Demon Slayer on there. I'd probably put Demon Slayer's got to be one of the most beautiful anime I've ever seen. Especially episode 19 or whatever it is. That episode was unreal. I fell in love with Naruto, but I don't know if I can put it in my top. I loved Naruto. Watched it from start to finish. There was so much downtime though. So much filler, and I didn't even finish Boruto. I'm meaning to. I've heard that it's been filler for 1.5 years. That's crazy to me. I don't think I could ever recommend one of those more than 150 episode animes, I don't think I can do that. Because it's all just let's milk it. It's just a milking anime, and I don't think I can I just can't encourage that. Doesn't have the same impact as like those just like every single season is to the point, right? Like Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan. Oh, Spy Family, we're watching season 2 right now. We're 2 episodes in. I was waiting for Kenzie. I would marathon it in a day, but I'm waiting for Kenzie because we watch it together, and we just watched episode 2 of season 2 last night. Spy Family is fantastic. But I can't call it in my top 5 if I've only watched a single episode, or a single season. Even though I put Dress Up Darling in there, and that's only 1 season long, but that show is so good. I need a list. I need a list of everything that like I've watched. I need to just like pull up Crunchyroll. You gonna go on the Trash Taste podcast? I have no plans to. The only one of that group that I've spoken to is Connor, Sea Dog, and we've only had a couple small conversations. I liked Horimiya. I watched that. Wouldn't be in top 5 though. What's coming up for Senpai in the next little bit? This has been a busy month. Let me tell you what's coming up with Senpai. I don't like sharing things before they happen too often, except like on live streams, because this is such like the core audience, especially right now when things have gotten stale for a little bit and we're about to make big changes, but it's a very core audience right now. So it's been a heavy month just because we've been in that process of changing of the guard, of changing videographers and editors. So got a new editor who's also a longtime videographer, and he's unbelievably talented. And he's in the middle of his 2 weeks right now. He's just put in his 2 weeks last week, so he's got 1 week left. Got 4 shifts, including today. And then he's going full time. He's gonna be working here, which is a new big step forward I'm excited about. And he's gonna be carrying a lot of the load from here. Rumors are A7S4 is coming out later this year. I haven't seen any rumors about it, Croco Kyle. Can you send me, if you find a rumor, can you send it to me? I wanna see where that comes from. Scott not working for you now? No, so I mentioned it earlier on stream. Scott's fantastic for what he was thrust into, because he started working for me without any experience with editing at all. He was a brand new editor, and he was never meant to be like the main editor. He was meant to be the under editor under Sam, and then Sam and I split ways. Sam really wanted to go off and do his own thing. So I've been looking for someone for a while who has 10 years of videography and editing experience to help bring the content where we want it to go. So I found that, and he's fantastic. And then also found one other guy. This is a big thing that's changing with Senpai Gaming. Found one other guy who's been a friend of mine for a while. I don't know if do any of you have like content friends, or like a friend you know that you're like, I feel like you'd be so good at this, but I don't know exactly what you'd be good at. Does that relate to any of you? Or like you have that friend like, you should really try this, you should experiment, I feel like you're made for this. Anyway, I've had a friend like that I've met up with like 3 or 4 times. He was in a video 3 years ago. He was in a video for like 2 seconds. We stopped by his place. He let me borrow one of his Xbox for a capture card video. And he was in it. We like robbed him. He was in it for like five seconds. But we've met up trying to figure out where we could place him, and we're starting a project. He's a full-time web developer. We're starting a project. So the 3 of us are kind of the Senpai gaming team. We're starting a project called 30 Second Tech, because I've got a room full of gear that's just sitting there. I've got like 30, 40 microphones just sitting there that my wife keeps saying like, why don't you sell? And I never feel good about doing that, because most of them were just given to me, and they weren't given to me for me to resell. They were given to me for content. And so I hang on to them for comparison videos and stuff later, but they're just sitting there. So we're doing 30 Second Tech, which is like short form gear videos. And this new guy's helping me film that stuff. He's on camera for a lot of it. His name's Chase. You're gonna really like him a lot. We're gonna put him in full-length videos too at some point. So it's myself, Chase, who I'm doing 30-second tech with, and he's building Senpai.tv, where we're gonna be building a store and putting out products. We've got some ideas for products I don't want to tell you yet. I'm really excited about it. I also want to start with my editor. I've been encouraging him to make, he's switching over to DaVinci Resolve right now. He's just using the free version. All of our videos that we're making are going to be in the free version of Resolve, which is wild. And they're good. And so I've been encouraging him to make like a long, like in-depth course on using DaVinci Resolve. Like, if you want to learn to edit from scratch, here is DaVinci Resolve Basics. I would love, and I'm like, in this, here's some really cool free plugins that we've made for you. Here are some really cool tools that we've made for our stuff that you can use in your stuff, kind of thing. You know, we always make a lot of tools for our stuff. We always make a lot of when we do something a lot, we'll make it a preset so that way we can do like a hotkey and it's just in there. So doing a lot of stuff like that and throwing in a lot of our presets would be big. We'd probably make that a part of the course. Like a big one, for example, we use the MKB HD zoom. So like when you watch our videos, you know, we do like the zoom in on the face and then zoom back out, that kind of thing, where I don't have to like click a keyframe, zoom in, adjust the curves. That kind of stuff is great when it's a single click, zoom in, zoom out. I love Resolve, but I struggle with Fusion. He's learning Fusion right now, actually. So as soon as he's done with that, I want to put up a whole course on the website. Yeah, starting this 30-second tech short form content, we're going to start posting those every day across YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram Reels. I'm excited about that. I've never I've always been really heads down, what's that called? Barrel. Tunnel vision, there we go. Tunnel visioned into like, I need to make good videos. I need to make the videos better. I need to be consistent with the videos. And I ended up ignoring a lot of the diversification of content platforms. And Facebook, while I would never recommend being like a full-time Facebook content creator because it's not a content platform, it's a huge tool for reach. And I should be using it. I should be reposting stuff, maybe even cutting stuff down to make like a Facebook version of every video. Maybe cut out the fluff, just get straight to the point. Facebook also has Reels, so using Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels, even though they're like the same, I don't know, it's weird. We'll learn about it. You ever stream on the Senpai Gaming channel? I'm going to when we do a 24-hour stream. This week, next week, I've been talking about it for a while, and it's hard for me to find the time to dedicate 24 hours to a live stream. I'm also just tired all the time, just old. I did my first 24-hour stream like 7 years ago? Was that 2017? Was that 6 years ago? It was so much easier when you're 28. It's so much harder when you're 34. Gonna pay Meta verified blue icon? Get out of here. You still talk with Sam? Hope there's no bad blood. Oh, there's no bad blood between Sam and I. We don't talk very often. He's off doing his own thing. He's busy. I'm busy. I think the last time I spoke to him was December. We worked on a UI together for a product we're releasing soon. But no bad blood between Sam and I at all. What about when you're 37? I'll tell you when I'm 37. Don't rush me. I'm still 34. I'll be 37 eventually. I don't want to be 37 yet. Dude, you know what's weird? Today was the first day where I've sent stuff over to the editor and it's like, it's all pretty much done. He's doing a couple more things here and there, but for the most part, everything's ready. And I'm like ahead on stuff. And so I'm going, what should I do today? Usually I'm like always playing catch up. And as of right now, I'm not. I have 2 videos done, ready to post. We're waiting on some, I need to do a thumbnail for the video on this channel. It's gonna go up tomorrow. And then on the other 2, I'm waiting on approval from brands or for gear to be sent in. I can't do anything on them. My part's done. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I have, other than a couple things, oh, geez, I got a Japanese lesson in 45 minutes. Just kidding, I don't have a lot of free time. But like, this is what I've been waiting for, is for time like this. I should make a TikTok or a short today. I don't know why I'm not. I just need to, I've been doing the same thing for like 4 or 5 years. I need to shift my mindset. I'm super excited about it. Harris Heller channel content, yeah. I really need to dive into making some shorts over there. It's time, guys. It's time. This is what I've been asking for years. Anyway, big content shift time. I feel like we always make these live streams. There's always a short portion of it that's like Harris therapy. And I hope you know I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you. How do you feel the Japanese lessons are paying off? Are you comfortable speaking yet? I've hit a ceiling. I've been taking Japanese lessons for about 4 years now. And that's crazy. I think over 4 years. And I just feel like until I'm immersed speaking Japanese hours and hours a day, I feel like I've hit. I mean, I could study more. Vocabulary. Like get better at vocab. Like study every day. I should be studying every day. I'm not studying every day, but I just feel like I'm not making a lot of improvement. One, because I'm not studying every single day. I should probably do that. And two, there's only so much you can get out of 2 hours. I do 2 lessons a week over Skype, and I need to be there. Immersion will do you well. But how much is a month of immersion going to do? Is that enough? If we can find a place in Okinawa where we live for 4 to 5 months out of the year, that's going to be a game changer. That's it. I'm excited for that. That's when I feel like I'm going to fully learn to speak the language. Would you be talking Japanese when you're in Japan? That's the goal. So we're pretty much staying at one place the entire time. Last time we went for 2 weeks and we were very much like tourists, which is great. I wanted to see a lot of Japan. We went to Tokyo, we went to Hakone by Mount Fuji, we went to Kyoto, we went up to a place called Koyasan, top of a mountain, stayed in a Buddhist temple for 2 nights. And this time I want to live like a local. So we're staying in one place nearly the whole time. What would be an entry Sony 4K no crop camera you'd recommend? The A7 IV is a really well balanced all around camera. Unless you're looking for a crop sensor. When you say no crop, do you mean full frame? If you're looking for a full frame entry level, the A7 IV is going to be really your only option. Hey. Yeah.
Okay, I'm OCD or I'm over the top, I should say. And I did this, and so I have them all pulled up.
Okay. Hey, bud.
And I'd love your opinion, or to give me your top 3, I guess. I think I know my top 2. If you want me to tell you. Hi guys. Sorry.
We're booking 30 days in Hawaii.
Because my sister's getting married there. So we're going to go all the way out.
We're already going to Hawaii anyway. We're just going to extend the stay by 3 weeks.
Also, because you can't do Airbnbs for less than a month right now.
What?
They changed the laws that you can't, a lot of areas in
Where?
Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii in particular?
Yeah, won't let you rent out Airbnbs for less than longer stays now. A lot of them. I don't think it's all of them, but certain areas have been changed the rules. So, anyways, but I went through. I want to show chat. I've made a spreadsheet. Oh, I should include cost on here. I should go do that. I'm gonna go add that really quick.
Okay. Well, I'm ending the stream in just a minute, so we'll do it when I'm done.
Okay.
Even just a month when you're forced to speak Japanese all the time will solidify what you've been learning? I'm hoping so. I think I should spend a little bit of time every day doing some vocab. And again, I think that'd be a great place for me to go to an izakaya and do like vocab for an hour a day. Or for a production company in Tokyo, as a videographer, editor, translator. It took me about 4 years of living here to get comfortable with my daily Japanese interactions. 4 years? That's so much time. I live in Irvine and I can't Airbnb my place for less than 30 days. Really? That's interesting. What's your favorite thing to say in Japanese? I don't think I have a favorite. I don't have a favorite thing that I say in English. I don't think I have one in Japanese. What's your thoughts on the Canon R8 for entry-level full-frame camera? Oh, it sounds awesome. I've seen a lot of videos on it. It looks like a super dope camera. I think the only like real downside to it would be the lack of battery life, which would be a little bit of a bummer. But I've seen footage from it. Looks great. I used to stream gaming, but got tired of being forced to play. I want to try just chat, but I feel I don't have content, but love talking with people. Tips to fill content when people are being quiet. Yeah, go in there with the conversation. Something you've been thinking about. If there's like you ever have conversations like with yourself? When you have those, like write them down. And then like you can just pick from them while you're live. Have a note that's just like cool conversation topics. That way between streams, if ever something comes up, you're like, oh, I'd love to ask chat questions about this thing. You can write it down, then you can bring it to chat. Who do you prioritize when making targeted content? Subscribers or recommendations? There's always a balance. You know, you have a Venn diagram of both. You want to aim for the football shape in the middle, but for the most part, unless there's something I specifically need to make a video about, like a new product coming out or whatever, I always try to make more evergreen content. That's been kind of the focus for this year. Like if I'm gonna make videos, if I'm gonna have this channel that I'm frankly not really enjoying making content for that much, it needs to be a video that's going to get views for an extended period of time. And so like the next video coming out, or one of the videos coming out this week, is just like a tip, like how to get perfect settings on your stream camera. That video can get clicked for years and it will always be used. So stuff like that. Brainstorm some chatting ideas with ChatGPT. I need to try. I've never tried ChatGPT. For example, I need to end the stream soon, but this is something that's been on my mind because I saw a big YouTube channel kind of get roasted for it this morning. I'm on the fence about AI art. I understand the complaint against it. I get it, but I feel like the same generosity hasn't been given for other industries, and I feel like it's not always valid. So I understand, like when you look at like AI art that's like completely ripped off of another picture or something. Like when you see those Getty Images ones that like still has the Getty Images watermark but just like distorted, I get it. But like Corridor Digital released, and again, this isn't me being facetious or saying I stand here. I'm just saying I haven't heard arguments against the counter argument. You know, they talk about like animation or whatever, like AI animation, and how it's being trained on certain shows and then just spitting out stuff. But like that's what humans do. Like we learn what stuff should look like. That we learn by watching other things. I'm just not understanding where the line is between what's theft and what's inspiration, and is the AI not doing the same thing as people are doing by being inspired by certain styles and then kind of recreating them. Like if the AI was trained on a wider, diverse amount of art, so that it could make something more like that was a mixture of 1,000 different things rather than 1 or 2 different things, so it looked more original, would that no longer be stealing? You know? Like, Do you understand? Like, I just don't understand where the line between inspiration and theft is. And then there's the idea of like, well, what about all the other industries? Like cashiers, right? Where cashiers' jobs are being completely replaced by computers. How are we okay with that? But we're not okay with, animators being replaced by computers. What's the difference there? Is it because one is art and one is a job? A lot of the animators in a studio are just doing what they're told to do. They don't have a say in the art. They're cogs in a wheel. So what's the difference there, right? Inspiration can only be done by humans. It's not the same thing with AI. Again, I see that argument, but I don't see the difference. I don't see what if an AI is trained on 1,000 different photos or animations, and it's able to completely mix the styles to essentially make a new style because it's a mixture of 1,000 different things, how is that any different? I'm not seeing the difference there. It seems like a lot of these arguments are because artists are afraid of, rightfully so, I think this is a fair concern, but like artists are afraid of losing their jobs. And so they're in a fight against it, but they're coming up with arguments that I'm not always seeing the difference. Like there are times when it's 100% theft, and I get that. But I just want to understand where the line between inspiration and theft is. And could you train an AI to gear more towards inspiration than theft? And if you did, would that be okay? Or would that still be theft? Humans can be inspired and then use reference to put their own spin on it. Not what AI does. It just mashes things together, simply put. I should get a say in how my art is used. But I feel like you're drawing a hard line between two things that aren't two separate things. When a human watches your art or looks at your art and is inspired by it and does something similar, they didn't pay you to look at it. They used it. They used it as reference. They used it as inspiration. Is that theft? If then they make another one that looks similar to it. How much original style does one have to be not? I don't like the idea that like computers can't make something original. Computers can't make something original. I mean, there are even studies that say like humans can't make up a face that they've never seen. So can humans really make an original piece of artwork if they can't come up with a face they haven't seen? A lot of times it's just taking, well, I've done these eyes in this style, I've done this face in this style, maybe I could try making the face a little skinnier. And if that's the case, like an AI could be like, let's take this piece of this thing, this piece of this thing, this piece of this thing, let's make it a little bit, let's adjust, just tweak parameters, literally just randomize parameters. And would that be original? If you had the computer randomize parameters a little bit more, would that be original? And this isn't me being facetious against the whole art. I get that people are upset. I'm genuinely asking this question. If the AI took inspiration from more and more and more pieces the way we as humans do by consuming art every single day, if it was training off of more things the same way that we train by watching other people's and looking at other people's art, and then they randomized parameters more so it was more original, would that be stealing? Is that not the same thing as humans do? When a human draws something, is that original or is she interpreting something they've seen? Yeah, interpreting and tweaking, it doesn't seem that different to me. It's just that right now it's a brand new technology that hasn't developed a lot. The same way we look at old art styles from thousands of years ago and everyone drew the exact same because there weren't as many art styles back then and we developed them over thousands of years. This is a brand new thing. It's a brand new technology. If it develops to a point where it does become more and more original, is that no longer a problem? And if it can get to a point where it can make more original stuff, Should we not get there to where it's no longer stealing, or do we not want to get there because it's going to remove jobs? But in that case, do we stop using computers that remove other jobs? There are a lot of jobs that we just, like a lot of processing jobs that we don't have people do anymore because computers do it. And is this not the same thing? Is there something inherently wrong with replacing a person with a computer if a computer can do it just as well as a human? By the way, I'm responding to Jen Abbott a lot because this is, obviously she's directly answering me the most. And I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate. I'm not trying to like start an argument. I'm genuinely asking, and she's kind of answering my questions the most. So thank you, Jen, I hope you know, like, I really respect you being the main answerer of these things. Wait, hold on, this is from Table. I think the main argument is when someone goes to AI and says, make a painting of Harris Heller with insert specific artist name's style. But we do that too. Lots of times when I go and I ask for certain things, I send over a reference photo. In fact, the last piece of the work for this thumbnail, I sent over a reference photo. Hey, I really like this style. Can we do something like this? And it's not a copy. No one's taking that artwork. They're just kind of taking the coloring styles, taking the art style, because that other person wasn't the first person to do that either. Guess it is the difference between humans having unique human experience that AI can never have. But again, I shouldn't have my art stolen and used without my permission. Okay, but what if we can give AI these experiences? That's what I'm saying. Like, if we were able to let it view years and years and decades of art and content the same way that humans consume it, would then you be okay with it? Not to mention, a lot of artists claim they made a piece of art when all they did was type in a few keywords. I get what you're saying. AI can be a tool, but there's a lot of things that need to be ironed out. I'm not very articulate, so I'm not making a good argument. No, I really value your opinion. I understand what you're saying, is there is the element of the human brain, but is that what makes the difference? Is the difference between experience? Like, a lot of people are saying my art is stolen, and a lot of times you can tell. It is literally, they've taken, I feel like the biggest difference is they've taken the piece of art and they've manipulated it, right? It's like if I were to bring your art into Photoshop and use brushes to change it up, that's theft. 100%, that's theft. But what if I was able to take your art and I was able to, from scratch, draw something inspired by that, a very similar style, but of a completely different piece of context? AI is able to do that. Computers are able to do that. Would that be different? If AI could have true human experience, that would be different. So that's what makes it theft, the fact that it can't have true human experience. I think that's a completely different, I think that would completely change like, that has nothing to do with art, or that has nothing to do with theft. Because now we have two different experiences. One is a reason that it shouldn't be respected. One is a reason why it's morally wrong. The theft is the reason it's morally wrong. The fact that AI can't have his experience is why it shouldn't be respected. But if the outcome is original and it's good, how much of an impact does that make? Anyway, I value all the opinions here, especially yours, Jen. Thank you for sharing that with me. I totally get where you're coming from. I'm trying to find the line between where is it wrong. Because with the whole human experience thing, I understand why that makes it not as good. I don't see why that makes it wrong. Like, we wouldn't be able to relate to something as much because of that. But I don't think that makes it morally wrong because a human can't have experiences. It just wouldn't have as much emotion behind it. But then a lot of art is subjective. The theft thing, I agree. There is art that is like straight up being stolen, and that's where a line needs to be drawn. But if we were to develop it to a point where it could come up with, like, be inspired by more and more and more things to where it is drawing something that would be considered original, would then that change the fact that it's not stolen anymore, and would that make it okay? Or are we still, I just want to know, are we against it because it's morally wrong? And if that's the case, is there a point where it would no longer be morally wrong? Or are we against it because it's taking jobs away from artists? And it feels like those two things there's gray area there, that we're saying it's because of theft, but really it's because of people fearing for their jobs, which is a very valid fear, and I understand that. The theft comes from the idea that my art is being ripped apart and used without my express permission. But is that not what happens when someone's inspired by your art? They are subconsciously or intentionally taking, if they really like your art, they are taking aspects of it, and they are being inspired by certain things about it. And is that not the same as what people do legally? I'm not finding the line between inspiration and theft sometimes. Anyway, I feel like we've come to a standstill here. I don't know what the answer is. I'm also not an artist, and it doesn't affect me. So like I'm not trying to make a statement here. I'm trying to understand. And so it's just an interesting conversation to me. I think it's cool to hear from people that have skin in the game. And Jen, I hope you know I really value everything you said here. I think it's because we can't hold AI accountable for what it is. I mean, but we can hold the companies who made it accountable, and the companies who are profiting off of it accountable. So I don't think that's super valid. Anyway, I'm gonna end it there. I have a lot to think about. It just feels like one of those things where it's a super gray area. And I genuinely don't know what the right answer is. And so the part of me that's more of an industrialist goes, okay, well, it's not going away. So rather than trying to halt this thing that's not going to stop, how do we set valid boundaries? And how do we find ways where it can be utilized properly and utilized by artists, and do it that way? Because there are a lot of artists that are making stuff that are cogs in a machine that aren't artists, that don't get to put their experiences in, like in animation studios. There are hordes of animators that are just doing what they're told. How are they any different than computers? Could they not be replaced by a computer? Is there anything morally wrong with that? And I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for the animators, but that happens in every industry. So I don't know. But I love you guys. And I'm gonna be live on Twitch later this week. I don't know if it'll be a small stream or a 24-hour stream or whatever. I'm figuring it out, but thanks for hanging out with me. Hit the like button before you go. That was a good discussion. It's starting getting a little repetitive at the end. I haven't gotten a good answer between what's the difference between inspiration and what's theft. And if AI could get good enough to actually be more inspiration than theft, would there still be a problem with it? That's the big one. I don't know. Love you guys. Wait, this is actually a good one. You're an artist in the YouTube video creation. One of those things is already being automated. What, like ChatGPT? And I see that as a tool, and I should be diving into it more and learning to use it more, because I feel like I'm missing out on a way that could make my job easier. I could alleviate some of the work that is tedious and exhausting, and I could put more of the human element of creation into what I'm doing and offload some of the stuff that's not. And I feel like I should be using AI for that. Anyway, I don't know. Long conversation without a good ending. Love you guys. I'm heading out. Have a good one. Hit the like button before you go. Peace.